Hi, I'm comedian Kermit Appeal, and with me from Doreve Skipper Keys is Dorothy Clem. Dorothy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me about Skipper Keys. I must admit I hadn't really heard of the breed.
Skipperkees are one of the oldest recognized AKC breeds. They originated in Belgium and they were used on barges to catch rats and to be watchdogs. And a lot of shopkeepers also had them as watchdogs. They're independent, they can be a little stubborn, hard to train. So, therefore, they can be very challenging for someone who doesn't have patience. I mean, for me, I like other dogs, but Skipperkees are the breed. They are the dog. So, I mean, I've definitely fallen in love with the breed.
Let me ask you about your first sort of how did you find out about Puppywarmer?
I found out about Puppywarmer because I had gone to the UKC premiere shows in Kalamazoo in the summer. It was June of 2016. And there, among all the vendors outside, was Ken Sundin with his little table. And he had some puppy warmer units set up, and he was talking to people. And he had some cookies in the one of the warmers, demonstrating how he could keep puppies warm by keeping the cookies in there warm. And of course, he was having people, want a cookie? Sure, have a cookie. And so we struck up a conversation, and I talked to him, and it's like, it just made sense because for years I had just used a shoebox and a hot water bottle when I would whelp puppies to put them in to keep them warm while mom was finishing whelping. And so this unit just made total sense to me. And so before I left, it's like, I got to have this. So I bought it. And he told me that I was his first sale. So that was pretty exciting.
So you're his very so he goes to his show and next thing you know you're his very first customer. That's pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome. Yeah, it is. I had high expectations to use the unit very soon because I had bred a couple of my girls. But unfortunately, neither one of them had puppies that year. So the first time I got to use the warmer was in 2017. When I did use it, it provided me with the means to save one of the puppies in the litter that I had because he came out not breathing. I tore the sack off and I rubbed him, trying to get him to breathe. He wouldn't breathe. And so I finally, in desperation, gave him some oxygen, just a little, put the little oxygen thing on him from the puppy warmer oxygenator unit. And oh my God, he's like, his lungs puffed up and he took a breath and he started crying. And it's like, I
Oh,
saved the puppy. I saved that puppy. That was my first one that I saved. And I'm
wow.
super glad I did.
Yeah, it seems to me like you took a chance on something. Obviously, you're the first customer, so there wasn't word of mouth on Puppy Warmer at that point, and you really took a chance. And yet you're here, telling me that there's no regret on that chance.
No regret at all. No regret at all because I've used it with every subsequent litter. And like I said, I see smarter, healthier puppies. And I also used the warmer with oxygen for another puppy that was born in December of 2017. And that one had to be born by C-section because mom had a puppy that was turned. So I took her to my vet. They did the C-section. We lost one puppy. They couldn't get it going. But there was a girl and a boy in the litter, and I came home with them. And a couple of days into it, I noticed some what looked like a knife mark all the way around both of the rear feet on the boy puppy. So I took him in the warmer thing over to the vet, and she looked at it and she goes, "Yep, I've seen this before. Looks like the umbilical cord was wrapped around his feet in the womb."
Oh,
And it caused a pressure wound on both of those feet. And she said he's going to lose some portion of his toes or his foot. We don't know yet. He lost all the toes on one foot and the pad
oh,
on the foot. And
wow.
the other foot, he lost, I think, two toes and part of the pad. And he spent a lot of time in there with that oxygen. And I think that is what was the turning point. And today, Dickens leads a normal life.
That's gotta be incredibly important to what you do because it really is literally life and death for these puppies.
It is. It is. Yeah. So I just can't sing its praises enough. Schipperkes don't have very big litters. I mean, if you get 3 to 4 puppies, that's average. So if you only get 3 or 4 and you lose one puppy every litter, it's a shame. So it's important to me that the ones that I do raise live.